My dear friend, if your life has been strewn and torn apart by your addictive personality, take heart, because it is my understanding that all of God's children have an addictive personality, and there must be no fear or shame. And the secret lies in you recognizing this and embracing it with the eyes and beating heart of a loving God. And now I would like to share with you a reflection from the beautiful book Benedictus by the late John O'Donoghue. For an addict, on its way through the innocent night, the moth is ambushed by the light, becomes glued to a window where a candle burns its whole self. Its dreams of flight and all desire trapped in one glazed gaze. Now nothing else can satisfy but the deadly beauty of flame. When you lose the feel for all other longing and belonging, and what is truly near becomes distant and ghastly, and you are visited and claimed by a simplicity sinister in its singularity. No longer yourself, your mind and will owned and steered from elsewhere now, you would sacrifice anything to dance once more to the haunted music with your fatal beloved. Who owns the eyes of your heart? These words of blessings cannot reach even as echoes to the shore of where you are. Yet may they work without you to soften some slight line through to the white cave where your soul is captive. May some glimmer of outside light reach your eyes to help you recognize how you have fallen for a vampire. May you crash hard and soon onto real ground again, where this fundamentalist shell might start to crack, for you to hear again your own echo, that your lost, lonesome heart might learn to cry out for the true intimacy of love that waits to take you home, to where you are known and seen, and where your life is treasured beyond every frontier of despair you have crossed. Beautiful words from a beautiful man who gave his life to God as a priest, and who finally found his true home as a spiritual hermit on the west coast of Ireland, where he died a few years ago of cancer, and who has written the most beautiful books rooted in my favorite Celtic spirituality. If your life is beset by this overactive, overimaginative, addictive personality, take heart, because each one of us battles every day with our ego and with the thorn in the flesh that St. Paul talked about. But there is a positive to being an addict, because once you've surrendered your addictive personality to God, and when you have asked for help, nothing and no one can stand between you and a loving God who created you as a child of love. And there is no fear. There can be no fear. So when you come to God in prayer asking for release, be mindful of one thing: not to dictate to God your terms and your conditions, which many of us have done and learned to regret. I too battle with an addictive personality, and I have craved chocolate. But in the end, that chocolate catapulted me into having my gallbladder removed 3 years ago, because the chocolate ended up giving me unwelcome guests into my gallbladder, too many big fat stones that it calcified from something I enjoy doing. If your life is beset by being an addict, whether it is to illicit drugs, to alcohol, to sex, or to anything, you can come today and you can kneel before a loving God who calls you by your name, who invites you to come and kneel before the physician of your soul and surrender your heart. And then, having surrendered your heart, you enter the arena of trust. You may not see the outcome yet, but once you have surrendered and then you lovingly and respectfully ask your Father, Mother, God to help you, they will. And the way I do it is like this. I say, Father, Mother, God, in my desperation, in my darkest hour, I am overwhelmed by my struggles. I'm overwhelmed by my failure. You know exactly what is right for me. I thought I did, but I messed up. I fed my ego with nonsense, with the language of selfish love. Now I surrender that ego and I allow you to open my heart so that I can feel what you feel, see what you see, and hear what I now need to hear. I come to you, Lord Christ, the physician of my soul. And instead of dictating my terms, do this, do that, do the other, I ask you for the right remedy for my addictive personality. And I wait in trust, thanking you in anticipation for the miracle that will set me free. I come into your presence, your child, as a child comes to its father, to its mother, for help when it raises its knee in the play yard. I come with a trusting heart that you will heal me. And now I thank you. And now I bless you. And here we can conclude with our own mantra. The mantra that I keep saying to myself when depression hits me out of the blue. I just say, I am a child of God. I am loved. I am respected, and I am valued as a beloved child of God. Namaste, Shalom, Inshallah, Paxet Bonum Om Shanti, Solo de Caritas, peace.